Hello, we're going to see if what the midterms look like and if the Dems will finally have figured it out by then that they need to fight. Will the Dems have, will they use and promote people um, that will fight for their constituents? Will the Dems finally get a backbone and have some new folks at the midterms that will fight for us or fight for, everyone? Will they have devised a new strategy? I just want to know if they're going to devise a new strategy or not. Because honestly, if they don't, I'll save my vote. Okay. So how does it look? Do the midterms look like the Dems will have figured it out that they have to be more proactive and assertive? Will we see a different um, strategy from Dems in the midterms? This is hopeful. With the Knight of Swords, and this time I got the Hanged Man. That's interesting, and it was reversed. Well, to me that makes sense. Then there could be they could become quite forthright. Could be that they take off the gloves here. Maybe that's what that means. And they pull out the stops at the midterms. That would be a shock to see. Well, we'll know it if they don't, because if the strategy it doesn't look more aggressive, or if it still sounds like the same old, we'll know. And I think if we see that, what we need to do is call them and say, you guys are still operating out of the same old messed up playbook. You need to get up with grab a different one. All right, let's see what else we get. I'm getting this Six of Wands. Okay, that is coming through a battle and winning or being victorious and looking for opportunity, and there's foresight and expansion. So this makes me feel that they will get active, get out of their hump, and see it from a different perspective, and realize that they keep getting sacrificed because they don't fight. They don't fight firmly enough and quickly enough. They wait too long and they're too soft. So it looks like they might get that message here. Looks like that would be, to me, this should be a yes. And it should be, if they do recognize that, then they should be in good shape, because it won't be another lame duck presidency. And there's a good chance for them, it looks like, to actually capture that election and be cruising for the next 4 years, into the future there with that excuse me, that Three of Wands. Swallowed air. There's the Star. There is hope. But they have to go through the dark night of the soul, because they need to change some things. They need to be shaken up. And in my off-camera reading that I just did before this one, it showed this will be a real time of the Tower for Dems, and they're going to need to reset, because, like I said, too slow, too soft, and they're playing cricket while they're playing sumo, not sumo, but all-star wrestling over here. It's bringing a water pistol to a, gunfight or whatever. They're going to have to feel it. So it's not just the MAGA that's got to feel it. I think it's the Democratic Party that needs to wake the hell up and stop being so soft-boiled. They need to become hard-boiled. And I think we need to get on their backs about it. Here's the Hermit and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I think there is going to be a reassessment and looking at a different playbook with that Page of Pentacles. Something different is started, created, developed. And this is real wisdom. It feels like someone is applying a little bit different as well strategy, because the Hanged Man is wisdom but it's wisdom that's not orthodox, not like the orthodoxy of the Hierophant. It's more out of the book, not out of the box, and out of the book. Not in the book either. Throw the book away. Create a new one. I get the 10 of Pentacles and the 4 of Wands. Well, I think if they can do that, then they can bring us back up into a healthy economy. And this looks like a more calm, healthier thing for the everyday person. You're American, every day, and families of all different ages. So I think it could be indeed. I can see why the cards have been saying it could be very bright, or it will be very bright. And I believe it will after this mess. Anything will probably seem a lot brighter. I think they're going to do such a mess up here. What's the advice, guides? What's the advice? Reject them acting like they have. Send and give the message. Really have to give the message to them that we're not going to play old school. Not that kind of old school anyway, of polite society and all of that, because they're not doing that. You come to a crossroads here where you've got to take the right action in order to solve the problem. And if you're too light-handed, those roaches come back. The pests come back. 7 of Wands and the Hermit. This is about reflection and pulling back with the Hermit and wisdom and getting then an edge if you employ unconventional wisdom and you let your light shine and you don't muffle yourself because you have to be polite, so to speak, or you're playing some kind of game that's soft. We have the feminine card of the High Priestess, and we have the Knight of Wands. This is, I think, intuitive energy that's coming through. And I think they're going to know that there was a lot going on, highly secretive. They have to come out with a fighting spirit, and they have to work on that. So I think they have to keep some things on the quiet, but they have to also become, more aggressive. So I do see them becoming more aggressive. The past, the 6 of Cups, and the King of Swords. Because the past of him of Donald Trump, the King of Swords, and others like him that tout this. It also shows to me that he's going to be shown as, Trump will be shown as the past. They'll be using him, I think, as an example of the past come the midterms. Queen of Pentacles, a lot of hard work ahead, releasing baggage, a lot of burden put upon the environment and women by men that are mental, and women that are mental, that support that. Then we have the 5 and the 6, no, the 5 and the 7 of Pentacles. This is waiting, and this is building with that 7 of Pentacles, bit by bit, nurturing it bit by bit, and having to be patient. And it's going to be hard to be patient when we're seeing what they're doing. I think you can expect to be dealing with a lot of anger. Again, I believe that they needed to see that, there's been a decline in, to deal with that, and a decline in economy, jobs. That comes through. So I do think that they will develop a strategy, and they will realize, but it's so far the Lovers and the 10 of Pentacles. Well, that looks pretty good. It's going to take some time, because what he messes up cannot just be fixed overnight. But yes, I think there will be more harmony and unity here, and a better income, employment. This would also mean like health, all these things going in a better place. Maybe that, I think we need to just let them know now. We want this, and we want basic health care for everyone. We want, it now. We don't want you to play softball with them anymore. You're going to have to, pull out all the stops. So that's interesting. I do see them being able to come through with success, but right now they're going to have to really realize, and I think how egregious it is when you don't act soon enough. That's just not the correct response. All right, let me see. Let's clear this deck. All right, let's see. What is the advice of our guides to get through this dark night of the soul, this white knuckle boat ride through turbulent water until we get to the smoother water? What is the advice, guides? What is the advice? The Hermit. To hermit away. Because it's going to make you feel bad. It's going to do you in mentally, do you in physically, if you're caught up in too much of the world, things that at this point are, and I don't know how to say this without sounding cold, but things that are beyond your control as an individual. We try. and we continue to try, and we'll continue to try. Okay. But right now, this has to play out, unfortunately. And I think to give people that contrast and that really to light the fire under their butts, to make people push them to do so. But the advice is to hermit, especially if you're feeling under the weather, a bit depressed, if your immune system as well in this winter weather is if you're feeling that weakness, you know what I mean? Pull back. Pull back. Maybe journal. Do introspective activities. I think that's going to be more satisfying. Seriously, all you got to do, even if you don't have a notebook or a diary or whatever, grab a spare piece of paper and start there. It's at least one way to really process feelings. It needs to be processed. And the introspection will provide insights. Also, don't follow the crowd. Follow the beat of your own intuition and wisdom. Shine your light. Don't hide your light unless you're just wanting to rest and pull back. That's different. But when you do have enough energy to pop out of your hidey, your boundary, your protective hidey hole, don't hide your light. Share the truth. Speak the truth. But keep your own counsel. In the future, in the midterms, I think we need to think out of the box. We are not stuck. But once again, they need to employ a different strategy. There has to be something different in the future. This hasn't worked. Right now, we're kind of stuck to a degree until we have that opportunity to act. And that's what we'll be waiting for. A chance to act when we can create change again. And again, I think there is a real emphasis on keeping to the self, not being conventional in one's outlook, not following the crowd, and not collapsing to the peer pressure. I believe that they are going to work on problem solving in the way that they should. But I think it's going to require this time that's like a hard look. Two of Cups and the King of Cups. This to me is all about emotions and finding like-minded people to share your feelings, to share your energy with, so that you're replenished. With this King of Cups, and I'm not using it as the Biden card, with this King of Cups, this is, to me, the reciprocal kind of a card in saying, be around people that reciprocate, that are on the same wavelength, so that you don't keep to yourself, so you don't drain yourself being around those that are not of like mind, or that can't appreciate you pulling back. Risks with the Fool, a new start, and a Queen of Wands. being brave, being active, getting out there, getting in people's faces, not putting up with nonsense. I see a woman that's going to be a fighter. And I think she's going to be on a new path. I don't know who this is, to be fair, but she would have big personality. Could it be Jasmine Crockett? I don't know, maybe, because she's one of the few fighters I really know of. Hold on a minute. Well, Jasmine, it could be her. She has the kind of energy that I am talking about, and she is an Aries. She might be one to watch because I believe it is her kind of energy that is needed. Maybe a little less states man and woman. And maybe it's time to let some new people have a go. We have the cards of pulling back and recuperating for protecting your peace, guarding your peace. Oops, my bad. Along with the Chariot. I think this is actively protecting boundaries to keep your sanity and your perspective on the clown show. You have to be a bit removed, if nothing more than that is what this reading is saying, that we need to remove ourselves a bit and put a bit of distance with our emotions and put more of our intellect in and less of our emotions because we're going to get too tired. That needs to be safeguarded with that Four of Swords and that Hermit. Where was the other pullback card? The Four of Swords and the Hermit, definitely, before we move forward. Okay, let's take a look at Jasmine Crockett. Is Jasmine Crockett going to be an emerging figure for midterms or the future? You know what? I'm just going to say future. Is Jasmine Crockett going to be a powerful influence in the Democratic Party? We know the Republicans really don't like her. That means that she'd be perfect. See, the Dems, the old school Dems, would have put somebody there to smooth the brow. But I think maybe Jasmine would be one that they should tap the shoulder of. Let's just take a look. Jasmine Crockett. What's her future? Is she going to become more of a leader in the Democratic Party? Here we have the Lovers. I think that could be yes. This makes me feel like there's a great deal of affection and those that can identify and resonate with her temperament and her frustration and her vigor. You know, she's a spirited woman. A real change. Yes, I think she will. I think she will. Here we have judgment. There's a new set of eyes. There's a new awareness that arises. And I think she will have a great deal. She's like, now come on. They're going to realize, they may have thought she was a bit too much. Or some of these people might be a bit snobby, They all went to ivory schools, many of them. And I think they need to come down off their high horse, some of these snobs. I think she does. I think she has a very special place and a calling to continue on as she has in holding them to account and being there to do so and not playing these reindeer games with them. Okay, that's very interesting. We have the High Priestess, something that is yet to be revealed, with the King of Wands. So there's another more active energy that's yet, I think, to emerge, maybe among some of the men as well in the party. Maybe where they will support that kind of representative of the party. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Moon. There's security even through uncertainty with her and her energy. And she's kind of helping to hold on tight during this weird ride. Knight of Pentacles, and she gets so much about partnerships, working together. Before it was like the Lovers, and then she had Judgment, and now she's got the Knight of Pentacles and then Two of Cups. She could pair up with someone, maybe a male. Maybe that King of Wands is a male that she would pair up with. Then they would be perhaps like the dynamic duo. That would be awesome to see a man and a woman that were really active and fighters for us come up in the next election to stand up to this. Looks like they will, in a very influential manner, especially the old school. I think even, of course, within the Democratic Party itself, it's like this needs to change and quickly. And it's bringing communication and awareness and self-mastery as well. Anything that I think some of these younger folks that need to perhaps gain experience-wise, as someone like Jasmine being in there, that they get that kind of under their belt, especially going through this kind of thing in history. And that's going to be significant. I think she is really one to watch in the future, because I see her emerging. And with a male, this is the second time I keep getting that male-female duo that looks like it's going to come out of the Democratic Party. And we'll just watch for it. That's all we can do. Anyway, if they don't come up with somebody that's willing to really go after, I think it's going to be a huge mistake. No matter what, they've really got to change it up. And it looks like they will. I think they're going to get the message. So anyway, that looks interesting. If you appreciate readings like this, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video. Or live, which will be on Sunday, and which will always be on Sunday from now on at 3. Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time will always be our lives. Okay? All right. See you later.